Sorry. Hello everyone. Welcome to today's episode. I'm here in Light Africa Writing Studio and I'm here with
Light Africa.
Alright. In our previous episode we talked about the core foundation of writing. And in today's episode we'll be talking about the first core foundation of writing, which is the mind. So we'll be hinting you on the first core foundation of writing, which is your mind. And we're having a brief discussion on how you could train your mind as a writer and how you could work with it as a professional writer. Alright, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Okay, thank you very much. So Light Africa, firstly I'd like to ask, what do you think separates the mind of an ordinary person or an ordinary writer from a writer's mind?
Okay, the first thing that separates these people is how they think.
How they think.
Yes, a writer thinks about writing all the time. Yes, a footballer thinks about how to play ball.
Yeah.
A medical doctor thinks about how he or she can treat a patient. So how they think is what separates them. I always think about writing 24 hours because that is what I have to do every day. That is what I'm doing every day. So how they think is what separates the two individuals.
How they think.
Yes.
Okay, do you think I'm not a writer?
You are a writer if you think you're a writer. And you're not a writer if you think you're not a writer. See, the mind is not just the core foundation of writing. It is the engine room. Whatever you believe in your mind, you achieve in your life. Now, what you think, you attract and become. What you think over time, you attract into your life and become. If you think you're a professional, you attract that character, you attract that personality over time, and that is who you become. If you think you're not a professional, you're definitely not a professional. So if you think...
Alright, thank you so much, Light Africa. And what do you think and how do you think the pain or joy can become a story in a writer's mind? The pain he or she goes through or the joy, how do you think it can reflect to become a story in their minds?
Okay, if you want to be a writer, you must get this in mind, that you write from your pain, you write from your joy, you write from people's experience, you write from what you read every day. So like I said, every moment is for writing. Yes, a writer is always ready to write at every moment. When the writer is going out, he's thinking on what he or she can come back, the information. So a writer notices details other people miss. When people are talking about something, the writer is focusing on the information he or she can gather. So as a professional writer you want to be, you must make up your mind. You must make up your mind to write from your pain, to write from your joy, to write from your experience, to write from other people's experience, to write from the books you're reading. You gather information from every moment. So I write from every moment. There is no moment that is left out. I pick information from my own personal experience. My recent published book, The Humans, the Black and the White, the Rich and the Poor, it is from my recent experience. Yes, on human realization. So every moment is for writing.
That's so amazing.
Yeah.
All right. Now, Light Africa, do you see problems in life or you see plots? You know, you said in our previous video that you're a plotter in your own part of writing. So do you see problems or you see plots in your daily activities in life?
Okay, I see solution and I plot the solution to a book. When problems happen, it is left for you to pick out what you want to learn from the problem. As a writer, you must learn from every experience.
Wow.
Yes, J.K. Rowling's script was rejected 12 times. She picked encouragement, she picked solution, she picked the grace to be resilient, she picked a lot of good things. And today we have Harry Potter as one of the most sold books on Amazon and out of Amazon. So you have to pick what you want from every experience. So for me, I am a plotter and I'm very happy that I'm a plotter. So I pick informations from every situation and I plot them into my book.
All right, that's so amazing. That's explained it in detail. Okay, moving on to the next question. What does it mean to think like a writer? You know, what does it mean to really think like a writer?
Like I said before, if you go to an environment, you see a piece of land. The land is actually without a building, right? Now, a writer is picturing a story from that land. An architect is picturing how he or she can come up with a building,
Very true.
right? So everybody picture things the way they want, or the information they want to get from that particular thing. So to think like a writer means to visualize writing at every moment. You should be ready to think when someone is talking about John go to school. You're not just thinking about John go to school. You're thinking of how you can bring that into a story and into a book. So a mind of a writer is always ready to write. It's always ready to think. It's always ready to see stories that other people miss. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Moving on. Light Africa. How did you personally become a writer? From your own experience, how did you just become a writer? Did you just become a writer overnight? Did you just wake up and you picked a book and you started writing? How did you become a writer?
Yeah, I started by transforming my mind to think like a writer.
Okay.
Yes, which is the major core foundation we have been talking about in this episode. You have to think like a writer before you become a writer. All writing starts from the mind. If you can't see it in your mind, you can't have it on a piece of paper. So it has to be transformed. So I first of all transform my mind from how I was thinking to begin to think like a writer. Then it does not end like that. Like we said, this is the first core foundation. We also have other core foundation coming in. You have to learn, you have to read, you have to gather information. We talked about this in our last episode. Read every day, write every day. Ensure that whatever you're doing is making you to become a writer or is helping you to become a professional writer daily. So I became a writer first of all by transforming my mind to think like a writer. Yes, if you're a medical doctor, you want to become a writer, it is possible, but you first need to transform your mind from what you're thinking to begin to think like a writer. Yes, so it all started from my mind.
Wow. Thank you so much, Light Africa. This is so impactful. I hope you're enjoying the video. Okay, moving on to my next question. Do you feel as a writer you could carry lots of characters in mind, and how do you cope with it? How do you deal with it? Or could you carry a lot of character in your mind at the same point?
Yes, you can carry more than 5 characters in your mind as a writer. Wow. Yes, especially when you're writing a fiction book, you can carry a lot of characters in your mind. You can be writing about John at the same time be thinking about how to treat a patient.
Yeah, very
yes,
true.
You can be writing about John at the same time picture something different in your mind. It is possible. The mind of a writer picture a lot of things at the same time. When I was working on my book, You Have All It Takes, actually I was working on the introduction, but I was seeing the end part of the book. I was already visualizing what become the characters that are going to appear on the end part of the book while I was still on the introduction. Yes, so it is possible. It is possible that you can carry more than one character in your mind as a writer. You don't have issue with that. A medical doctor can still be a writer. A lawyer can still be a writer. A footballer can still be a writer. These are 2 different characters.
Because it relates
and 2 different personalities. Yes. So like I said, everybody is a writer.
Yeah.
Yes, it all boils down to your decision to become a writer or to sharpen your skill to become a writer.
Okay, thank you so much, Light Africa. So this question I think is personally for you. How do you feel and how do you process failure? I know we go through different experience in our everyday life. So as a writer, how do you process failure? Do you process it as a final result or a future help? How do you feel about it? Have you had any experience of such?
Yes. To me, every failure is an opportunity to try again and achieve your goals. Wow. Yes, every failure is an opportunity to achieve something good, something better. Failure is not the end point. It is just the beginning to solve a problem.
That's true.
Yes. Chimamanda script was rejected so many times before it was finally published. She had to learn from that and achieve her goals. Imagine that she gave up. Today we would have not known about her. So you don't see failure as the end point. You see it as an opportunity to try again and achieve your goal and do something great. 7-Up came as a result of the person failing 6 times. The 7th time he got it. 7 up.
Yeah.
The electricity bulb we have today, right? It was a result of someone failing over and over again, over and over again, over and over again. He did not accept failure, but he saw that opportunity to learn. Now, it is better to try than never to try.
Yeah,
We
very
can
true.
only edit a script, but we cannot edit a blank script.
Yeah.
We can edit something that has been written down. We cannot edit a blank script. So before you can edit a work, something must be. If you try, you didn't make it, keep moving, keep pushing. My personal first published book was rejected 6 times.
Wow.
Yes, before it was finally published. But today we have the book on
Yeah.
Sailor Market, we have the book on Amazon, you have all it takes in over 5 nations out of Africa.
Wow.
Yes, you have all it takes, over 5 nations out of Africa. So if I gave up the first, second, third time it was rejected, that would have not been a reality today.
Yes.
Yes. Testimony have been written over the book from US to Germany to Australia. If that was not if I gave up at the beginning, nothing like that would have been in existence.
Very true, very true.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Light Africa. I hope you are enjoying this episode with us. Okay, moving on to the next question. Are you willing to write what other people are afraid to say? Are you willing to write it out? Do you think you have the courage to write out what every other writer or every other person is afraid to say or talk about?
Yes, every writer is unique. That will bring us to the next episode, finding your niche as a writer. Every writer is unique.
Yeah, very
There are
true.
people
Every writer
who
is.
based on leadership, there are people who based on genuine, there are people based on storytelling. It all depends on what you want to write. Yes, I should write what other people are afraid to write because I am unique. Yeah, I am unique. So it is 100% possible that as a writer that has been transformed to think like a writer or to think like a professional writer, you have the license. It is possible for you to write what other people cannot write. Stephen King's focus on he's a fiction writer, right? Brian Tracy is a non-fiction writer, but Brian Tracy still has stories. Jerry Bill is a fiction writer. Jerry B has non-fiction stories and books. So you can write what other people are afraid to write. As a fiction writer, you can also write non-fiction books. You have the license to write whatever you want to write. What people are not able to write, as a person, you have the license to write.
Alright, thank you very much. Okay, Light Africa, I have a question for you. Okay. So, how do you capture thoughts before they fly away? Like you said, in our daily activities, as a writer, you see moments in every activity. Like you picture
stories,
and you pen it down, and how do you manage to capture the whole situation, and how do you manage to capture it in? Doesn't it just leave and...
No. As a writer, you must be ready to write. Yes. You must be ready to write. Well, if you're sleeping, you must have a pen and a paper. You must have a writing
you don't capture it just
material.
in your mind.
No. Do not trust your memory. Trust your pen and your paper. Do not trust your memory. It can fly away. So as a writer, you must be ready. You're going out, have a book, have a pen, have something to write. You can voice note it. You can just record it. Say something. When you get home, you can decide to make it a good structure. So you must be ready to write at every point in time. There is no point you tell me that, okay, as a writer, I had a thought and I could not pen it down. It has fly out. You are not ready to become a professional writer. So have this in mind. Whenever you're going out, whenever you're sleeping, you're eating, whatever you're doing, have a writing material close to you, or as well, just place a voice note and save it.
Okay, that settles how I felt. I thought you would just capture it in your mind and
no.
Okay.
Do not trust your mind. Your mind can think something different within the space of 3 minutes. You can just change something. The whole thing can just be transformed to something different. So if you write it down, you can just come home and build a block on it.
Okay, we're moving to the last question I have for you today in today's episode. So are you willing to be a writing student like forever?
Yes.
Do you want to keep
yes.
writing and learning and forever?
Writing is a journey, not a destination. you don't achieve a goal. You don't write a book and say, okay, I wrote, you have all it takes. I wrote, they are humans. For that, you don't have to write again. No, writing is an everyday journey. So you don't have any point you come and say, oh, I don't need to write. And the world itself is a university that we keep learning.
Yeah.
We never get we don't graduate from learning in the world generally. A king that fails to learn, thinking he knows it all, will automatically become a beggar.
Yeah, very
And a
true.
beggar that keeps learning, over time, will become the king.
One
So
day.
learning, it is a continuous process. There is no end point to learning. Like I said, you must learn, you must feed your mind. The mind is not just the core foundation of writing, it is an engine room, right? So if you don't update your mind every day, you'll be outdated. Yeah, last year there are some websites, there are some versions that exist. Today, those versions
I
are
know.
outdated. Do you
Actually.
understand? I bought a new phone within the space of 1 month. They were asking me to update the phone. I was like, this is a new phone. I bought it with the carton. Like I am the one that opened the phone. I imported the phone from China. Why are they asking me to update the phone? Within the space of 1 month, a lot of things has happened.
Yeah.
So you keep learning if you don't want to be outdated as a writer.
All right. Thank you so much, Light Africa. You've enlightened our minds and our thoughts, and me personally, you've enlightened my thoughts. Thank you so
Ah,
much, Light
thank you.
Africa.
Thank you.
This is the end of today's episode. We've come to the end of today's episode. If you've stayed this far, don't forget to like and don't
Yeah,
forget to subscribe to the
yeah,
YouTube channel.
yeah,
So thanks for staying. Thanks for watching. Love you.
yeah.
Bye.
Bye.